What up, boys and girls? Smitty is still traveling today, and so we're going to talk about this big old slate. Um, Interesting spot for some, interesting spot for some others, and kind of excited. I kind of like these bigger slates sometimes, like where we can land and value on them. We're getting lineups in. We're probably halfway through the lineups so far, which is nice for this time of day. So I will take it. But again, no Smitty, but I'll talk about MME plays. We'll kind of break that down and go from there. And I'm just going to get right into the pitching out of the gate. There's some guys that are just automatically going to be eliminated today. Um, if you want to go play a Qual Cantrell or someone like that, or Brady Singer, go have fun. We're not going to talk about them today. Weather's pretty good across the slate. One of the cool things I did like today was some of the totals. We got a little better total action today than we've had in a while. We haven't had a lot of nines like on a big slate lately. The game totals just haven't been there. And today let's look here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 games, 9 or better. It's been a while since we've had 4 games, 9 or better on the total from Vegas and the books. So I kind of like that today. And there's only a couple sevens, right? Sox, Mariners. We got Marlins, Mets at 7.5, and the Pirates Cards at 7.5. So I kind of like that. No weather to really deal with. It's warm. We're in summer now, so I think we're finally getting past all this rain. Now that we're kind of mid-June, I don't think we're going to deal with the rain as much as we have been. So let's get into it. Pretty straightforward for me pitching wise today. Listen, I'm throwing Skeens at home, division rival, and we get just again looking at that Cards lineup. That bottom of the lineup, right? They got Pedro in there, they got Ciani in there today, Carp's in there. All their strikeout rates are high. I mean, Gorman's back cleanup, he's got a 30% K rate. And we saw what Skeens just did to the Dodgers. Now, he also threw one right down the middle of Shohei that Shohei had, a million miles. But Skeens at 9,400 versus that Cards lineup at home. I like that spot. I'm going to go there today. And, I'm liking where his ownership's landing. I think he creeps a little in SE 3 max, but I mean, you're playing Skeens. Next, we're looking at Wu. Right, his ownership's come down a little, but man, he's through the roof. I get it. Listen, it's the Sox, it's that K rate, right? Like, I understand why they're going there, but I'll throw him in my mix and see where we land because he's only $8,900, but that's what's driving his ownership right now. I think we'll see a little jump. I'm not touching Blanco against the Astros today. That's a pass. Wheeler, I like his 10.5 price, not so much. So here's what I personally think is going to happen. I think we're going to see a lot of people go with like Skeens, Varland, Wheeler, Barland, like those kind of things. I think Louis is going to, and his ownership showing it. I think we're going to get some people going to Varland. And McGill, but really Varland up, just because of that 6K price. They brought him up. It's the Rockies, the K a ton. So don't be shocked. And I think you can mix Varland in, but I'll talk about it later. But I'm also going to take some Rockies backs to offset that. I don't want any, of UC, he's $9,100. It's the Brewers. That's a pass. So I'm not going there. I do. So again, I like Luzardo, man. Luzardo at $8,100 in his current ownership. Now I think he's going to bump a little for single entry 3 max. I think he stays low in MME, but that matchup today, I like, as we start looking at lineups. All right. We got the Mets lineups and, let me go take a look at it here. Yeah. So, I like Luzardo against that. Again, kind of that bottom of that lineup's okay. Francisco's back. I'll be interested to see what he does coming back today. So, but again, interesting spot for me. I like that pitching wise. And on a 12 game slate, the thing I try to do is not get like overcommitted to too many pitchers. Um, I don't like, I get it's because it's the A's, but that Vasquez ownership, I think is going to jump in SE and 3 max. I'm not going to Vasquez today. I don't care that he's $5,600. I don't want to play a 14 to 20% Vasquez in any lineup. And then there's just a lot of meh guys to me, right? We got Dunning, Miles, Marcus, we got Stroman, Singer, Crawford, nobody that I'm really interested in. I don't want to go to Hicks versus them. The one thing I was a little bummed about is they made Thorpe $7,700 today against the Mariners. And if he would, so it's keeping his pricing down. I like the kid. I think he's got some potential. If you want to get real weird, keep in mind, again, he's $7,700. It's not like he's cheap, but he's there. And I mean, listen, if you want to throw a 4K Suter versus, the Guardians, good luck to you. That's just not a spot like at home I'm trying to get there with. So again, I'm going to keep this pretty small. Again, GPP, I'm mixing all those guys in. I'll have in a GPP, I'd have McGill mixed in as well. I'd probably have, still, I'm going to keep it a little more condensed for me. Looking at some of those K rates today, that's kind of where I want to go. And again, I get that how much the A's have been, K'ing against righties, but I'm just not going to go Vasquez. I don't hate throwing Thorpe in MME. And if I was playing 20 max, I'd have him in. I just don't think I'm going to mix him into my 3 max today. So, and keep in mind on the Varland side, they got a great Scott Berry's there, right? He's super pitcher friendly. So, and that's another reason I like Luzardo today, right? They got Laz, and I like Laz. Like, if you go look at their history and their data, those are 2 very good, pitching umps. And Skeen's got a decent one. They got Tosi. So, we kind of know who some of the umps are there so far. So, kind of sign me up with that. Now let's go look at some bats, you guys. As we know, runs are down, scoring's down, everything's down. The total's 9 in Cincy. It's Suter versus McKenzie. I don't hate Cleveland. I don't love them. Again, I don't love the Reds. I don't hate the Reds. I'm kind of indifferent there. I would 100% be playing them in GPP today. I just don't think at their price they're going to make a ton of my lineups with the lineup they put out today. I do like the Phillies against Crawford. Give me the left-handed side, right? Give me Harper, give me Shorby. I get they're expensive. Stott. And then if you want the punt there, it's Dahl, right? He's still cheap. He's still only 3K. And I'm not going to the Red Sox. I'm just not interested against Wheeler. Wheeler's been too good this season. Again, not really interested in the Met. The total is 7.5 in the Mets Marlins. I get if you want to mix some in there. The game I'm going to start with is I'm going to go to some Rockies. And again, the Twins got 5 yesterday, another low scoring slate. Hey, I'm back. That was fun. Right midstream. I have no idea what happened to StreamYard. So sorry, everybody. That was wild. Literally right in the middle of the stream. That's fun. It just StreamYard just blanked out and quit working. So that's fun. Yay. So let's get back at it. Let's talk about the Rockies today. I think Varland's gonna get a ton, nice hitting park. I think he's going to get a ton of ownership in SE and 3 max. I think he's going to have it there too. You know, Amador's still only $2,200, guys. They brought the kid up for a reason. McMahon's only 4,500 today. Tovar's only 4,600. You know, there's you can use those Rockies and get some leverage there. If you want to get some bigger bats. I'm gonna keep playing Lewis. He's in my mix, right? Like he's got 4 home runs in 7 games this year when he plays, and it's always been Lewis's issue, man. When Lewis is healthy, murders the ball. When he's not going there. I'm going skiing today, so I'm not touching the cards. The Pirates don't really interest me. I'm not really interested in the Yankee Royal game, even though the total tells me I should be at 9.5. I feel like this is the game that's going to get a bunch of ownership, and that's the spot I'm trying to avoid. So, and just hoping the Pins can keep this in control and we hit it somewhere else. If you want to play them, I totally understand. I would 100% be playing them in MME. KC brought Drew Waters back up. He's cheap at 3,200. So, you can mix him in. Vinny's back in the lineup today, but that's not the spot I love. The Brewers did nothing for us yesterday, which was super disappointing. As hot as they've been. I like Sanchez today. He's only $3,500. And I'm not a huge fan of the Jays. I just haven't seemed to get them right this year. Because I like the next game. I like the Angels D-backs, right? Like Boris broke Jamont and Snell, like in their downtime. So the Angels are super cheap. Pilar, Adele, Nolan, Logan, like you can play Luis, like all these guys are super cheap today. And I might even stack this game because the Angels get to face or throwing Suarez against the D-backs. Like I'm going in on the D-backs today, right? Marte, Moreno, Walker, Suarez, like Blaze. Like I really pretty much going to play everybody but like Corman and Perdomo. Everybody is pretty much in play for me besides those two guys. So those are like, I really like the D-backs. I like the matchup. I like the total. I also like the late swap ability guys. So, that's one of the things, again, I like doing is playing that late swap. I don't mind some A's at bats because Vasquez's ownership. And then Sears has just been okay. Again, Tatis is still too cheap. Profar still too cheap. Cronenworth's pretty cheap today. Jackson went yard yesterday. I don't know that he does again. In GPP, I'm 100% playing the Padres. But I don't know that they'll make my 3 max. Do I dare play some Sox against a very chalky Woo? Maybe some lefty bats. His splits, lefty-righty, are pretty bad if you go look at them. So, and again, I don't hate throwing Thorpe against the Mariners. They just K too much, right? We kind of know roughly what lineup they're going to keep out. Keep in mind, if you want to, punt third base, you can with Locklear. He's still only 2K for Seattle. So I don't dislike going there. I'm not really going to touch the Astros Giants. The park's just too hard to hit in. Who knows what Blanco we get? We've seen both sides of him, and Hicks has been solid this season. He's not, it's not lighting the world on fire, but we know Tucker's out. So I like that lineup a lot less with Tucker out. The Dodgers tonight, I get it. It's the Dodgers. They're always kind of in play. Total of 9. Again, they're just so expensive, right? 61 Mookie, 65 Shohei, 5,600 Smith, 5,400 Hernandez, right? Like the spot to me to get a little leverage in that game is Hayward. He's back now. Will they pinch hit for him? Probably, but I like getting some access there with Hayward. And I like a couple of Rangers against Paxton, right? We've kind of seen Paxton splits and his walks, and the only issue is Texas has been terrible against lefties. But like Garcia, maybe a little Heim from the right side. I don't hate going there just because of the total in the game. Again, GPP wise, they're going to be in play for me. As we're looking at those spots. So 12 game slate, don't be afraid to get a little weird. And listen, the reason we stack is because we have to get less things right. But, on these weird slates, we see all the time, right? Like we get 3 weird lineups And, the guy, they do a 4-2-2, or, they get a little weird. Like, I don't hate going threes or fours today just to mix it up. And if you get the right side of the games, you're in a good spot. Um, again, I like Arizona today. I love Blaze at his $3,500 price. Moreno's super cheap. Walker and Marte are my two favorite bats. I talked about, Pilar and Adele. In third base, just depends on what, salary wise, what you have left. I wish he was a little less, Bomb, all those guys are up there today. Jay Berger's pretty cheap against McGill today. I kind of like that spot just for a price point. And if you really want to get some leverage at third, even though he K's a ton, is you can go play an Arenado right against Skeens, because Skeens going to have some ownership. So I don't hate it, but I'm throwing Skeens. So I just think the kid has the best stuff in the show. So I'm going to stay there. If you guys got any questions, hit me up in Discord. Smitty should be back tomorrow. And let's go have a good day, boys. Talk to you later.